Okay, today we're going over the North Point 340 CKTS. Start off down here. This is where you have an area for generator prep. If you did want to get a generator, you can talk to your salesman about adding that on. Above that's the hydraulic pump. Just make sure that that fluid is full and that those fittings are tightened down just in case there were to be a leak. If you do see any red fluid dripping out of there, you just got to tighten those fittings down and that should take care of the problem. Spots for your batteries right there. Batteries charge when the unit's plugged in or when your 7-way is attached to your tow vehicle. Or if you have solar panels, the solar panels will charge the batteries as well. Your propane tanks are in this first door here. Left is open, right is closed. To switch between the two tanks, you have this switchover valve right here. Whatever way it's facing is whatever tank you're going to be reading from. When there's gas present in the line, these two red triangles here will turn green. So that's how you'll know if they're empty, if it turns red while your gas is open. Then over here is your battery disconnect. When you cannot pull it out, that means that that battery is on. Flip it, pulls out, then the batteries are off. Lights and usually things like your jacks will not be able to function if your batteries are disconnected. In here is your water bay and pass-through bay. You've got your water bay right here. Turn the lights on so we can see. This is a pretty simple system. You just have to follow the diagram here to figure out what you need to do. So you have city water right here. That's what you're going to use if you have direct water at the site. So if there's a spigot on the site, you'll take that hose, hook it to the spigot, and then plug it into here. Turn your knobs to the city water. So that way and that way. Hook your hose into this connection here. Turn the water on, and that'll run water directly to your faucets, sinks, showers, and the toilet. If you're staying somewhere that doesn't have direct water hookup, you'll use the power fill tank, which is right here. Attach the same connection, and now that'll fill up the fresh tank when you turn the water on. Once that fresh tank is full, then you change it to dry camping, and that allows the water pump to draw from that fresh tank and pump the water to your faucets. You do have a pump switch right here, otherwise there's one on your panel inside. Outside shower right here, outside shower hoses down here. That plugs in right there. Hot and cold, and then you have your satellite and cable connections on the left there if you're staying somewhere that offers that. Then you have your black tank flush right there. When you're draining out your black tank, you have the option to plug a hose into here, turn the water on, and that shoots water into your black tank to help rinse it out. Your tank poles are located down here. They are labeled black, gray, and gray. Black tank is the holding tank for your toilet, and gray is the holding tanks for your sinks and showers. Pull them out to open them, push them in to close them. This is your water filter housing area right here. Make sure you don't have your water filter in when you're winterizing because antifreeze will ruin the water filter, but you'll put it in after you've de-winterized and are ready to camp. We'll use this tool here. Wrap it around the bottom of the canister, pull up, and then loosen. That'll take the canister off. Make sure there's no pressure on the system when you're taking that filter on and off, otherwise the water is going to spill out of there and you'll get all wet. I'll go over winterizing later on in the video. And then above that is your leveling panel right here. To wake the panel up, press up and down at the same time. Pressing up is going to raise the front jacks. Pressing down is going to lower the front jacks. To auto level the unit, press the auto level button. That will level the unit out by itself. After about 5 minutes, it'll be finished. If you walk around while it's leveling, you'll throw it off its calibration. It'll take a little longer. To reset the panel, retract all. Just make sure that if you're doing that, there's nothing underneath the coach because it will dive bomb all the way to the ground and you don't want anything to get crushed under there. To return the jacks to the position it was when you got off your truck, you'll hit hitch height. That should bring it back into a couple inches of where it was before you pressed auto level. So if you were to get off your truck, press auto level, and you're ready to leave again, you come back, hit hitch height, and it'll return to that place before you pressed auto level. If you do anything after you press auto level, that'll mess up with the memory, so the hitch height button won't work. So make sure if you're going to use auto level and you want to use hitch height, don't do any individual adjustments after pressing auto level. With that said, that's how you do the leveling. There is a little reference page here showing you what everything else means. Hopefully that made sense, but we'll show it to you when you come pick up your unit. Down there, there's the hose. Hose runs up to that little door down there. In here, we have your spare tire crank and your purified water jug that runs water to your fridge and to your purified drinking station next to the sink. Lights up here. Right here is your water heater. Before you run water from your fresh tank or from the city water connection, make sure that you install your anode rod into the connection down here. Plug it in, tighten it down with a 1 1/16 socket wrench. Once it's in there nice and tight, then you're good to run water from either that city or from your fresh tank. Once water's running through the lines, this is going to start to fill up. As it fills, leave your hot taps open on one of the sinks. That way any air pressure that builds up in this tank as it fills is released. Once that water starts coming out of the hot side of your sink, that's how you know that this is full. Once it's full, you can go ahead and turn it on. It is gas and electric, and both the switches to turn it on are going to be inside. When you are winterizing, you do have to put your water heaters on bypass, but they made it really simple for you because as soon as you turn your winterized setting there, it automatically bypasses the water heater. Now, down here is the exit for the sewer drain right there. And your low point drains are down there, and I'll go over those later because they have something to do with winterizing. This area you can install a macerator in, otherwise you can just use it for storage. Tires will be filled, lug nuts will be checked, so you'll be ready for the road. This is the back access to your fridge if you needed to access something back there at any point. That blue hose right there is the drain from your fridge. If you needed to drain the water out of your fridge, you'll open that one up. Spare tires down there. Power cord plugs in right here, 50 amp. Bladder is 250 pounds capacity. There is a backup camera quick connection up there. If you did decide to purchase a backup camera, you could speak to your salesman about that. 2 outlets right here. Cable satellite hookups here. And then there is a LP connection down here if you wanted to run a griddle back here. Or a grill, or anything that runs off gas. Take this rubber cap off. Attach your LP hose into there. And then flip this silver valve open. And that'll open the gas supply up to run to whatever you are using. Then you have your sewer hose storage right there. Just a little flipping door so you can slide that sewer hose in there. Your fresh tank drain is that white pull valve right there. Pull it to open it, push it to close it, similar to the other drains. Your steps flip right up into the door frame of the unit. Just make sure when folding them down that this piece of metal here is flush with this piece. That way, as your door closes, it doesn't strike the bottom of your steps and bend the metal. There is a side here for your spray port. If you wanted to add the hose that's on the other side in the water bay, you can plug it in over here as well if you needed to rinse something off. Outside speakers right there and there. We have your griddle over here and another LP connection right there for running gas to this griddle. Mini fridge. This runs when you're plugged in. Temperature adjustable by the dial in the corner. Your vacuum is right here. Hose attachment can go in there. On and off switch right here. And to get to the bag, push down on the hole here. That pops it out. There's the bag. Only one bag comes with it, so make sure that if you throw that out, you're aware that you'll have to buy a new one. And then in here is that other propane tank, also attached to the system. Got the big old awning. Run that out for you. All right, going over the panel. This first page is just all of these pages condensed down into one, so you can easily access them all from the home page. Next is the water page. Shows you all your tank levels. So everything's empty right now, but as they fill up, these bars will slide higher. Water pump switch right here to turn the water pump on. Then your gas, electric, water heater switches right here. Tap them to turn them off, tap them to turn them on. Super easy. Make sure that you don't turn them on if there's no water present in the system, because then that heating tank gets hot and can melt your water lines, and then you'd have a flooding problem when you start to run water. So make sure that these are off if there's no water in the system. For the gas one, you can shut that off once the water's hot. You don't need to leave that propane running, wasting gas on you. 10 to 15 minutes before you think you're gonna need hot water, I would turn that on. Same thing with the electric one, doesn't need to be on all the time. Next page, motors. You can individually adjust your jacks from here instead of doing it from the panel outside. Just remember, if you do anything after you press auto level, that your hitch height will not be remembered. Down here, slides, extend and retract. Right here, I'll show those going out later. Awning, extend and retract. To run the awning out, just hold the extend button. And there it goes. Don't have much room here, otherwise I'm going to hit the other unit right next to me. But once it's all the way out, there'll be a flap on the end that will face straight down. That's how you know to let go of the button. If you go over that, it'll kind of roll over itself, and then water can pool up on top of your canvas and stretch it out. You don't want that. Other things, make sure you pitch your awning after you put it out by pressing down on the arm here. That bends it so that the water would run off this way. You can do it on the other side as well, but that's just going to make sure that that water doesn't pool up there and stretch your canvas out. Next is your thermostat page. So you have your main and second ACs. So the secondary one would be the one in the bedroom. And the main one is the one for your living area. Turn it on, tap the power button, temperature up and down, mode, cool or hot, cool auto, or just the fan. Fan speeds, temperature up and down, super easy. You can hear it running right now. Really quiet. I'll turn the heater on too for you. And you can hear that running down there. Heat will come out of the floor vents like this. AC comes out of the ceiling vents like that. Make sure with these floor vents that you don't put the full weight of your foot on them, because they can break if you do so. Second AC will not have the heat option. The heat from this page will run the entire heat for the whole unit. So if you turn it on the heat here, you'll have heat in the bedroom. But second AC, that's just for controlling the air conditioner in the bedroom or the fan. Lights, tap them to turn them on. Dimmable by sliding. Super easy. Next is your sensors, showing you what your tire pressures are at. You can also add refrigerator sensors and propane sensors if you wanted to see how cold your fridge was or how full your propane tanks are. And then this last one's just showing you what voltage you're making, and if you had fuel for the generator, to be showing you how full that is. Down here, 1 is your ceiling lights, 2 is your awning LED, and 3 is the same thing as 1. You can do slides and awnings from here as well by clicking here. Awning 1, awning 2. Slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. Once you get to one you want to use, say slide 1, extend and retract. So if I go to awning 1 and hold retract, it brings the awning back in. Alrighty, down here is your inverter on and off. Sorry, the camera's kind of freaking out. Right there, inverter on and off. Just hold the power button. It's not going to turn on right now because there's no batteries in the unit right now, but that's how you will turn your inverter on. You'll want your inverter on while you're driving so you can run your refrigerator. The inverter converts your battery power over to 120 volts so that this fridge can run. Usually it'll power any outlets that are close to the fridge as well, so that way while you're driving down the road you have the option to plug some other things in as well. You have the switch right there for turning your fresh water pump on to pump from that jug in the pass-through storage, and that runs the water to the fresh drinking station and to the refrigerator for the ice maker. Down there is the carbon monoxide and LP gas detector that draws off the batteries when the unit's not plugged in. It's hardwired for safety regulations, so flipping your battery disconnect will not do anything for you there. If you want to cut the power off to this, you'll have to take the negative end off your battery. That way it doesn't die on you over the course of 2 or 3 weeks. For winter storage, take the battery out entirely, put it somewhere warmer, put it in a trickle charger to keep it from dying. On the dinette here, you have these pop-up outlets. Be gentle with them when you're putting them down. If you slam them, then the spring mechanism likes to break, so be gentle as you slide them down. Press down, and it flushes back with that countertop. Then we got the recliners here. Recline is right there, lights there, heat and massage. And in the cup holders here, you've got your charging outlets and USB ports. Same thing on this side. You'll see these panels kind of located all around the trailer. These are to control the lights and turn them on and off. That way you don't have to go to the panel every time you want to shut something down. So if I want to turn the ceiling lights off, I press that and that shuts them off. These open, you got a little bit of storage back here. This folds out into a couch. You'll take the back 3 cushions off, set them to the side. Then you'll pick up from here. Pick up, fold it out. Drop these legs down. Set it down like so. And then flop this back piece into the down position. And then you've got your bed. You got the TV here, stereo and fireplace. TV, elevator, right here. You want the TV in the down position for travel. That's what that looks like down. Stereo's right here. Turn it on, press the power button. Zone A are these speakers here and here. Zone B are the speakers in the ceiling. And Zone C are the speakers outside. Tap them all at the same time to have them all run at the same time, or you can have them run independently. Shows on the display right here which ones are on, A, B, C. Super easy. Does have Bluetooth as well if you want to connect your phone to it. And you can also connect it to the TV as well to play the TV audio. Fireplace is electric, so if you want to heat the place up without using propane, I would suggest you use the fireplace. 45 minutes, it can heat this entire area. Press the power button. Temperature up and down right here. Goes up to 82. And then you have the different flame brightnesses and a timer as well. That goes up to about 5 hours if you wanted to have it shut off after a certain amount of time. Keys are on the sink. Jayco does key to like. So these 2 keys unlock everything. Doors, compartments, those little plastic doors outside as well. You got your microwave, pretty self-explanatory as well as with the fridge. Want to learn more about those? I suggest you read your manuals. Got your burners here. Panel light turns these blue lights on above your knobs. Oven light turns on the oven light, obviously. The light of these burners, you push in. You can hear that spark go as soon as you push in, and then turn left to open the gas supply up. No gas in this unit right now, so it won't start up, but once there's gas, open the gas supply, and then you can light it here. Burner, 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 and burner, and then the central runs the oven. When lighting the oven, leave that door open until you see it light. Push in, turn to your pilot light there in the center, and then in that kind of bottom grate there, you'll be able to see a flame light. Once you see that flame come on, you're good to open this up to whatever temperature you desire. You can close that oven. In this door, you've got your packet with all of the user manuals in there. This has warranty information, owner's manual, and appliance manuals all in there. So if you want to do some fun reading, that's where you'll find that at. A couple light switches underneath there. You have your internal vacuum stuff down here. The sweeping pedal right here, pick it up, that turns the vacuum on. And you can sweep any debris into there, as well as your vacuum hose area right here where the vacuum hose can attach to. Bathroom right here, GFCI located there if you need to reset the outlets if they were to trip. Got your sink, mirror, fan switches on the wall down here. Sorry, camera's tweaking out. Right here. And that turns on the fan. For travel, just make sure that your doors are latched down with this latch right here. Like that. That way they don't slide and shatter on you. Pedal flush toilet. And then we got the bedroom area. Another one of these lighting panels on the side so you can turn those lights on and off. Lift up from the base, and that reveals your underneath bed storage. You have 2 extra chairs here, your vacuum hose attachments, as well as the extra cutting board space that you can add on to the edge of your island with this little sliding drawer right here. Pull that out, and then that big extra countertop piece sets in there. This lifts up, you got a little storage under there. And then your closet, laundry basket in there, and then washer dryer hookups right there. You could talk to your salesman if you want to add washer dryer. You have the WineGuard gateway in this unit. If you want to have internet, you can get a cellular plan provider. Basically, that's what it is, and you'll install the SIM card into here, and they'll project Wi-Fi signal for you to use. Then you also have your antenna switch right there for turning that WineGuard 360 on. And then you got your Eric Cell van turn-ons right here for turning these 2 fans on right there. That's the first one, and that's the second one. These both have rain sensors, so they'll shut off if it were to start raining. Right here is the ceiling fan switch. And to turn your range hood vent on, tucked up underneath here, you have the power switches right here and here. So you have the fan, and then a little light as well on there. So that's how you turn those on. Believe that's everything. Looks like we got your remotes in this drawer here. This is your living room TV, bedroom TV, living room stereo, fireplace. There's the water filter for you to install later. I think that's everything. So now I'll go over the winterizing process with you. Winterizing this unit is fairly simple. Drain out all your tanks, so black, gray, fresh tanks. Make sure those are all empty. Then you'll come here, take a look at this water bay again. We're going to turn to our winterizing setting. So white this way, green this way, red this way, and blue that way. That changes where your water pump draws from. So now it won't draw from your fresh tank and instead is drawing from this attachment here. So you'll take your winterizing hose right here, attach to the connection there, and then you'll take the end of that hose right here, stick it into your jug of antifreeze, and turn your water pump on. Once that pump's on, it's going to start running the antifreeze to all your sinks, faucets, toilets, everything inside. And make sure you also run it to your outside shower. Go inside, open the taps up one at a time, run antifreeze through the faucets until it's coming out in a completely pink stream. Make sure you get plenty of antifreeze down your drains as well. Once you've done that at every faucet and toilet, make sure you get your outside shower and your spray port on the other side as well. Make sure that you drain your water heater out. To do that, let the pressure off with this pressure release valve, and then take the anode rod out with a 1 1/16 socket. Once that's out and drained, then everything else is drained too, because you got the fresh tank done already and you've drained your black and gray tanks out. Then you're ready to do your low point drains. So you've run antifreeze through all the faucets, down all the drains. Then you come to the low points, which are right there, a hot and a cold line and 2 valves on there. You'll twist those both to the open position and then run them until it's completely pink coming out of there in a solid stream. That way you know you got antifreeze through the entire system. Once that's done, you are all set. Just a thing to preface, you do have an ice maker on the fridge, so make sure that the fridge has either been drained out completely or you can run antifreeze to the fridge by turning that pump on and making sure your ice maker's on. It'll eventually run through that antifreeze and start making pink ice. Once you see that ice turning pink, then that antifreeze should be enough into that refrigerator for that to be winterized. But yeah, once you've opened those low points up, run them until it's completely pink coming out of there. Antifreeze should be through the whole system. You should be all set for the winter time. You can also blow your lines out for the winter, but I do suggest to run antifreeze instead. Or you could do both and blow the lines out first and then add antifreeze, which is typically the most effective way to do it. But hopefully that makes enough sense for you. If you do have any questions, please bring them with you to your pickup date, and we would love to get them answered for you. Don't want you to leave confused or with questions that haven't been answered yet. So yeah, please bring them with you to your pickup date. As many as you want. Love to answer them for you. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. After pickup, if you have anything go wrong, you have any further questions, contact your sales department or contact the service department. They can walk you through any issues, troubleshoot for them, make sure we get those resolved. Otherwise, if something major happens, we can get you scheduled in for an appointment to get the trailer repaired. But with all of that said, I think that's everything. Again, hope this was helpful, and hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great rest of your day.